Hello, good evening. Um, just started the live broadcast now, and a good number of people will be coming in today. So I'll be waiting for them. While I'll be waiting for them, let me say hi to us. Hope we're all doing good, and hope we had a lovely day. Um, Give me a while, please. Okay, so it's a wonderful Sunday evening, and I hope we had a lovely day. And how was service? Hope service went well. I guess yes. Well, mine went very well. I enjoyed my time in service, and the servant of God spoke well. They educated us on a number of things, and I think the summary of what he told us was how to live in harmony, in peace with our members within the church, and also he also told us about submission to your leaders. That was the part that caught my attention very well, because some people within the Christian atmosphere are becoming, would I say, what word would I use now? Difficult to handle, and it hasn't helped the body of Christ so far. So in our world today, we are beginning to see that a good number of people are difficult to rule, and it hasn't benefited any of us, in our world. So the best thing is that we should learn whatever our discipline is, be it Christian or Muslim. Let's learn to abide by what the Holy Bible or the Holy Quran says. And that's just it. So, in a nutshell, my day was lovely. After that, I came back and I did a number of things, So, that's that. Now, let's get into the business of today. Now, on the business of today, I will quickly do a recap of what happened yesterday. Now, yesterday, I was majorly talking about TBC. I talked about TBC generally. I also talked about TBC when we had issues, when we had technical issues. We also talked about discounters, and we also talked about the Facebook, that the ignorant ones that went to Facebook to seek information, and then the information they were getting from people that were ignorant, even ignorant about TBC. We're feeding them, and I know I said something like those in the TBC, those that were not in TBC, they were complaining. They were like, "How come TBC is so high? How come TBC is so high? A TBC can be as high as Bitcoin, And then because of it's not as high as Bitcoin, it's a scam. And some things like if TBC thinks it has guts, it should come into the coin market cap so that we can weigh the stamina of TBC. And a good number of things. The admin was not comfortable with all these things that was coming up that people were giving. It wasn't beneficial to the TBC community. And the strategy that admin employed to neutralize it is by bringing in the live broadcast, just like this one now that you're listening to. It's a product of the concept of admin. He did it to make sure that at every point in time, you are going to listen to a live broadcast and get first-hand information. If there are questions you need to ask, you ask the questions and then you get answers to the questions. So that's that about the summary of yesterday. Now, for today, we're going to talk of a number of things. One of the things we're going to talk about today is TBC and other cryptocurrencies. That's one of the things we're going to talk about. TBCs and other cryptocurrencies. And also, some other things we're going to talk about is why TBC is better in comparison to other cryptocurrencies. So let's start. Let's give up a brief update about our present financial banking system, or would I say the banks? Let me use that word, the banks. Now, you see, the banks, they have their own way of doing their checkmate, to make sure that when you bank with them, you have all your details. Like I recall the last time I went to open an account, they asked me for my details, they asked me for my next of kin, they asked me for my personal house address, they asked me my email address, they asked me like everything. I was even becoming uncomfortable with the fact that they were asking me this, they were asking me that. Like they were kind of wanting to possess the whole of me. And then I asked the person that's the customer care, why must you be asking for all these informations? He said, well, since you are our customers, we would need these information from you. I was like, oh, like seriously? And the person said yes. So I told the person, do you know about cryptocurrencies? The person said, well, she kept quiet. I said, no, let's discuss. Do you know about cryptocurrencies? The person said, well, in my own opinion, cryptocurrencies are scam. That was what the person said. And I smiled and I told the person that be informed about cryptocurrencies, because these cryptocurrencies is going to bring down your banking system very soon. The person wasn't comfortable with the statement I made. And the person said, oh, so that means cryptocurrencies will make me lose my job. I said, well, that's the choice you make. If you choose to allow cryptocurrencies cost you your job, fine. Why? Because you did not invest and you did not re-strategize to make sure that when it happens, when the collapse comes in, you wouldn't be a victim. But the person took it as a joke. And I was like, well, it's all good. Since you've taken it as a joke, let's see how it would look like in another 5 years from now. Nevertheless, I just needed to fill the form and I needed to get the account on because it was urgent. That's the banking system. The banking system is a kind of system of, to me, and obviously that's the truth, it's a kind of system of control. The banking system is a kind of system where the banks want to have access to everything. They want to know this, want to know that. For every transaction you want to do, they want to know why, how you got the money. They want to know everything. And really, to me, it's not okay. You mustn't know everything. You could know to an extent, you mustn't know everything. There are other ways to go about it. But you see, our banking system is a system where they want to possess everything. They want to know this, they want to know that. The funny thing is, for every transactions you make, they charge you a certain amount of money. You have your ATM cards, they charge you at the end of the month. You make a withdrawal, they charge you. Everything they charge. And then, they are living off from you. I don't like it. I don't like the banking system. But you see, there's one that I like, that's cryptocurrencies. Today our subject is going to be majorly TBC and other cryptocurrencies. But I've talked about the banks. That was why cryptocurrencies came in anyway. Cryptocurrencies came in because they were concerned about the banking system and how they exercise their system of control. People became uncomfortable with why you must know this, why you must know that. And then they brought in through blockchain, they built their own system, which is cryptocurrency. The first of which was Bitcoin. And Bitcoin was created to be a peer-to-peer system. And I really like the way Bitcoin was built. It was built to absolutely eliminate the banking system. And the person in quotes, Satoshi Nakamoto, who did it, he didn't, I don't know, but I just felt that he just put it and left it on a 50-50 option. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, fine. But to his greatest surprise, I'm sure that Satoshi Nakamoto is somewhere. He's seeing how the whole thing is going, and he's smiling. You know, he was like, "Oh, my invention really went well." You know, but to his greatest surprise, the thing was accepted, and people are pushing and accepting it and using it to do a good number of things. And you know, the system of cryptocurrencies is almost encrypted. You may not be able to know who this person is. The person that sent the Bitcoin, the person that received the Bitcoin, you may not be able to know. But you know, there are some advantages that I enjoy about cryptocurrencies. One of which is you are in China, I'm in Nigeria. If you're making use of Western Union money transfer, they charge you huge amount of money for you to make some transfers. Maybe you want to send in $1,000 from here to that place. One, it takes you more than a day. It takes you like 2 days or 3 days, I don't know. And another thing is that they charge you an exorbitant amount of transaction fee or commission, whichever you call it. And really, I didn't like the fact that they charge that amount of money. To me, it was much. To me, it is much, you know. But you see, in Bitcoin, you are in China and then I'm in Nigeria. I can just send in the money, and within split seconds, you receive it. That was when Bitcoin came in initially, you know. But you see, over time, Bitcoin started having issues. The reason why Bitcoin started having issues is because people started embracing that technology. Well, you see, I think the block size of Bitcoin is less than a floppy disk size. It's so small, so that when transactions become so much, then it will be very difficult for the transactions to all go through, just like a large crowd wanting to pass through a small door. You know, it's not going to be very possible. There's going to be serious squeezing, and if possible, some people may even get choked up. You know, so that's exactly how Bitcoin was created. And the beautiful concept of it was that it can be changed, it can be expanded. But you see, the miners were not okay. They didn't want it to be expanded. They just decided to say, no, we like it like this. If it's like this, then the value would come into Bitcoin. People begin to see the value behind Bitcoin. You know, and a good number of challenges came up, arguments came up, and some set of people said, well, if this is how you want it, fine, we are breaking off. And then that was how they broke off, and then they formed Bitcoin Cash. I think that happened last year, August of last year, Bitcoin Cash. You know, now when Bitcoin Cash came in, what Bitcoin Cash is almost the same thing with Bitcoin. The only difference is that Bitcoin Cash, they increased their block size so that transactions can be faster. And that's a good concept. But you see, Bitcoin remained that way. But because it's a kind of politics that was played around Bitcoin, a good number of people made sure that Bitcoin remains where it was. I mean, they pumped in serious amount of money in Bitcoin to make sure that Bitcoin still remains on top, you know. So that's that about Bitcoin. And that's about Bitcoin Cash when they split. Now, another thing that I also enjoy about Bitcoin is that when you do these transactions, nobody knows you. What do you need about Bitcoin? How do you need to get a Bitcoin account? You could have any email address. Now, that email address, you could register it in your name if you feel like. If you feel like, you could choose to register it in another person's name, or register it with numbers. You could just put anything, it's an email address. Maybe that's the email that is associated with that particular wallet, you know. And then after that, you're able to create in your details. You just open your email address. How? You go to your Bitcoin, and then you associate the Bitcoin wallet to that email address. And that's all. You send a transaction, a link, and then in that link, you confirm it. And then you have a Bitcoin account. You're absolutely anonymous. No one knows you. You know, that's the wonderful thing I love about Bitcoin. You know, you can exercise freedom, you can do your transactions, and then you send your money from here to here. No one knows. The only person that would know is the person you're sending the money to. To an extent, that one is very, very nice, you know. And then some other systems, some other cryptocurrencies saw Bitcoin. And they looked at Bitcoin, they were like, oh, Bitcoin, I really like this concept. And then they started going about modifying it. You know, they saw some lapses in Bitcoin, and they started improving on the system, you know, and like confirmation, timing, transaction fees, and the rest of them. They improved on it to a very reasonable extent, to the point where there are much more organized cryptocurrencies much better than Bitcoin. But you see, Bitcoin was the first, and Bitcoin has already gained a much more global acceptance. That's why it's not possible for someone to easily overthrow Bitcoin, you know. But notwithstanding, anyway, these cryptocurrencies, much better examples of those kind of cryptocurrencies that I see as much more organized than Bitcoin is like Dash. Dash, like Ethereum. Ethereum is also a completely different kind of system. It's like a fuel that fuels um, smart contracts, you know, and stuff like that. Maybe over time I'll explain more about Ethereum. But you see, Ethereum is also a much more organized system. And Ethereum is kind of large, where most ICOs, initial coin offerings, they use Ethereum as a foundation, as a base that they can place their system, and then from there they can do a good number of things. You know, that's another thing. Another one is Monero. Monero is also a good one. And you see, all these systems are absolutely encrypted. You know, no one knows if you have a Monero or not. No one knows if you have a Dash coin or not. No one knows if you have um, most of these cryptocurrencies. No one may know. You know, it's just there. And you can use it to do transactions in the area, in the field of cryptocurrencies. You can use it and do transactions. And when you do transactions, the other person gets it. And then he releases whatever goods or service that he wants to give to you. You know, that's one wonderful thing I like about all these cryptocurrencies. Now, you see, as the cryptocurrency space keeps getting bigger and bigger, the government may see like, they may see it this way. They may say, well, if money is going out of our banking system and is going into cryptocurrency space, we're actually losing our control. You know, what makes every government to stand their ground is because they are charging you taxes on all those all those activities you are doing, all the payments you are making, all the things you buy. Yeah, they charge you VAT, they charge you every kind of task. They tax you in every way, and then as long as they keep taxing you on that grounds, that means they keep becoming more relevant, or they remain relevant. You know, but you know the funny thing, if a good number of people within a particular cryptocurrency, let's assume Bitcoin, now says, well, since it's the government that has been charging us this and charging us that, okay, now since it's very difficult to know if someone is in Bitcoin or not, the person could just say, well, all my coins has been stolen. How will you know? Can the banks, can the government find out how much coins that you had and how much coins were stolen? Okay, let's give an instance. The government now says strictly that I'm going to charge taxes on Bitcoin users. Now, if you want to charge taxes on Bitcoin users and a good number of people within that Bitcoin community still accept Bitcoin, you know what they will do? Maybe the government may have that wallet you have. You can just create another wallet, send your coins to that wallet, and then you can tell the government that, well, my coins was hacked. Since the government doesn't even know the person it was sent to, that means you might have outsmart the government, you know. That's a beautiful thing about cryptocurrencies. Now, another thing I also want to look at, or I want to discuss about, is why do the government choose to keep taxing and taxing and taxing? That's one thing I'm wondering. Anyway, the point is the government can tax you if they are the ones that produce the money. Of course, the government is perfectly allowed to tax you. The government is perfectly allowed to tax you for their paper money because it's them who produce this paper money. Now, let me give an instance. Now, the government of Nigeria, they were short of money. Now, he gives an instruction that the central bank should print in more funds, more money. And when they print in more money, what happens is that they use it to do contracts, they use it to do this, they use it to do that. And for every activity that are done, the banks will charge you for transaction fees. That's commission. For everything you do, you want to have contracts, you want to make contracts, you are charged. You are charged VAT, you are charged different amounts of money for this and for that. That's what makes the government, that's what makes the currency valuable, you know. But when it comes to the realm where it's cryptocurrencies, it's not the government who really produce cryptocurrencies. On a more serious note, it's actually some set of people who are IT gurus. experts. They are the ones that created cryptocurrencies. And because they are the ones who created cryptocurrencies, I do not see any reason why the government will say, yes, I must tax you on this particular cryptocurrency, on that particular cryptocurrency. The problem is that we human beings were ignorant. We are really, really ignorant. If we can choose to make our system completely anonymous, that's exactly what they are doing in the crypto space. They're making the system completely anonymous so that the government will not be able to track anybody. It's just that most people within the world are afraid. They are afraid that yes, the government will do this, the government can do that. You know, but it's the choice of an individual. It's your choice. If you choose to say, okay, I choose to pay tax, fine. If you say, okay, I choose not to pay tax, fine. That's your choice. But the thing is, if you have your own private key, as long as you have one private key, you could choose to say, my wallet has gotten missing. And then you could go somewhere else and download it again. And once you download it, you put in your private key, you have access to your funds. So that's beautiful encryption. That's something that makes it impossible for you to be tracked, for you to be checkmated. Everything you have is your own, you know. And funny, come to think of it, every time the government, let me just give an instance, the US government, they are owing more than $20 trillion. Now, on all the taxes they've been charging the people of the United States, yet the tax has not been able to pay off all those debts. So tell me, how is it that they are going to get off those debts? 20 trillion, that's some generations, even to the third and fourth generation. Really, that doesn't make sense to me. So you see, the system was actually built on a debt system. And over time, that system is going to implode on itself, whether you like it or not. The question now is, what do you do as you prepare yourself for when this will happen? Because sooner or later, it's going to definitely happen. So what are you going to do to guide against this? I'll tell you. One of the things you are going to do is to get cryptocurrencies. That's one of the things you're going to do. Let me see who has come online. Okay. Oh, like seriously, a French guy came online. That's fine. I wish I could pronounce his name. I can pronounce Israel. And then my architect is online. Well done, sir. It's all good. And I know that more will be coming in because this is a serious program. By the time I've spent maybe the 6th, the 7th, the 8th series, I believe that the house would have grown. So for my Frenchman that is online, please stay with me. I have a good number of things to discuss with us this fateful evening. So where was I? I was talking about the cryptocurrency space. I'm not in TBC yet. I'll discuss about TBC. Now, I said you're at liberty to decide if you want to give government tax. But you see, if you keep giving the government tax, you continue making the government legit. I mean, you keep making the government relevant. You know, the government could be relevant if you choose to. How? By feeding them off what you have. But if you say, no, I can't feed off the government of what I have, after all, it wasn't them who created it. It was an anonymous set of people, or it was some recognized set of people. So we can decide to say, no, government, you have your own money. When you create your own money, we can afford to say, okay, we'll pay you taxes on the money that you created. But a money that was not you who created, why? Why should we pay taxes for that? You know, this is just my own line of thoughts. You know, but as we keep moving in this series, there are a good number of things I also revealed to us, but let's take it one step at a time. So this is the beautiful thing about the cryptocurrency space. That is the currencies in the coin market cap. These currencies, some of them are strong, wonderful currencies. That is cryptocurrencies. You know, when you have them, you are completely secure against, even the government may not be able to know anything about you. Some of them, like Monero, they are so built, and they upgraded the system in a way that it is proof against taxing. That's that. Now, the question is, what is the beautiful thing about these cryptocurrencies that makes it superior or inferior to TBC? Now, I'm into TBC now. I want us to hear what I'll tell you. The reason why I enjoy TBC, I believe TBC, I appreciate TBC, is because TBC is also properly encrypted. You know, it's very encrypted. But you see, in TBC community, TBC community is so organized. Walai, pardon my words, Walai is a dialect in Hausa. So what I mean is, sincerely speaking, TBC is well encrypted. And another thing about TBC is that it's tight. It's tight. I mean, the community is well secure. I'm going to give instances. You know, within the TBC community, some of us may not know, but you know, within the TBC community, you cannot steal. Let me give an instance. You're moving along the way. Someone knows that you have TBC, and the person comes to you and then gets you at gunpoint, and they say, "Hey, now bring out your TBC coins. Send it to me. Send in the coins now." Let me assume we've gotten to 1 billion verified members now, and then maybe you have like 200,000 euro. You know, and then the person says, "Now send the whole coins to me, quick, 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 or else I blow your heads out." And then out of fear, you send it. Now, as soon as you send it, the mistake the person does not understand, or the mistake the person made is that once you send that money, there is something called the transaction ID. It is that transaction ID that when you click on it, it links you to the blog of TBC. Now, the thing is, in the blog of TBC, there is a place called recipients. There's a place called the sender. Now, in that blockchain, it has a record that is stored forever, as long as the blockchain is existing. Now, as soon as that kind of thing happens, what will happen is send the money to the person so that you don't get yourself hurt. And once the person has gotten it, because the person is ignorant, the person goes. But as soon as the person goes, what you do is this. Quickly get the transaction ID. Click on it. Once you click on the transaction ID, it takes you to the blockchain. You will see the address of the person that robbed you. When you get that address, copy it. Go to the billioncoin.info. And when you get to the billioncoin.info under trusted seller, click on it and then drop the person's address, wallet address. Automatically, it brings up the person's details. This is the only thing that TBC has that is superior to other coins. TBC is well encrypted. It's a peer-to-peer system. You send the money to this person, the person gets it. It's just between you and the person. Because you know who that person is, it's between the both of you only. And another thing about TBC is that it's an organized system where you have profile. In that profile, you must put in your details. You know, these details are for security checks. It's also for when we're going to start associating with the bank. So many of us are looking at it and we're like, well, why do I need to put in my details? Another thing you must know is before you do your migration, you must update your details. If you don't have your details updated in the billioncoin.info and in Kringle.cash, you may not be able to migrate because these things are kept for security purposes by the support of the TBC community. So as soon as you have put it in the billioncoin.info, it brings out the details of the person. As soon as it brings out the details of the person, you see the person's details, and then quickly. Now, I do not know if the security or the system of TBC is such that if you call the support and tell the support about the issue, anyway, you may not need to call the support since you don't know the number of the support. You can just send an email, ticket at the billioncoin.info, and then your subject will be have been robbed. You know, that's your subject. Now, when you leave your subject as has been robbed, you give details that this was the person that robbed me. This is the person's transaction ID. This is the person's wallet address. This is the person's name. This is the person's Facebook link. Please block the person's account. As soon as the person's account has been blocked, the person may think he has outsmarted you. And then the person will be going. But when the person sees that he opens his account to do transactions, so suddenly he sees his send button has been turned off. You know, the person is handicapped. Now, what would happen is that the person can't do anything. Now, I do not know if the support of TBC has the ability to reverse the coin back to you as the person that was robbed. You know, over time, maybe I will know. But if that system is not available, what the TBC support will do is that they contact the nearest TBC police. Now, the nearest TBC police will investigate and then get the person red-handed and force the person to send the money back to the person that he robbed. You know, these things are easy. They are not very difficult. So if you are in the TBC community, you are covered. There is no cause for alarm. There is no cause for fear. You know, you can be in the TBC community and you can do all your transactions. Do it with confidence because you know very well that once you've sent it, if there is any issues, you contact the support. When you contact the support can help you either retrieve your money or freeze the account. You know, that's one thing that the TBC community has that other cryptocurrencies do not have. Now, do you know that if you've been kidnapped and someone comes to you and says, send the money, maybe the person wants a certain ransom. The person says, send it to me through TBC. The person has implicated himself. Do you know? So this has automatically pushed fraudulent activities, pushed people away from TBC. If you are in TBC and you're into some fraudulent activities, over time you'll be exposed. Why? Because your profile is in the TBC community, is in the support. It's going to be in your Krenko Cash or it's going to be in your thebillioncoin.info. Let me assume you don't want to use Krenko Cash, but the billioncoin.info, if you are going to migrate, you must update your profile. Even when you come into the new system, that is after you migrated, you must also be able to update your profile. Because if you do not do so, then you would not be able to freely flow. The send button that you have will not even be activated. These things are security checks. So if you're in billioncoin.info and you say you kidnap someone, you want to say send the money through TBC, you implicate yourself and you expose yourself. People can easily get you. But when you do that with Bitcoin, wow, like seriously, if you do that in Bitcoin and you send the person, say send it to this wallet address within 48 hours, the moment you send it through this wallet address, what happens is that the money disappears, it goes into the internet, you never see it again. Even if you want to keep track of it, you don't know who the person is because your wallet ID is just alphanumeric numbers, alphanumeric digits. 157834474ZZ, all those, that's the alphanumeric code for the person's wallet. And those things are things that once it has been sent, you can't recall it. Assuming it's something that you can send and you can recall, it's a different thing. But once you've sent it, you cannot recall it. Now, that's the value, the superiority that TBC has in comparison to other coins in the coin market cap. So the question now I ask is, if you were someone that is a novice, which would you prefer to work with? Would you prefer to work with the TBC community, or you would prefer to work with other cryptocurrencies? The both of them has their advantages. Both of them has their own disadvantages. But you see, if you are a sincere and a straightforward person, I tell you, TBC community will be of more benefit to you because you are secure, you are safe. Your money is secure, your money is safe. If you have any issues, contact support. Support immediately within 24 hours attends to you. That's why I prefer the TBC community. Okay? All right. Now, I don't know. Is there anyone that has a question? If you have a question, please just drop it on the group. Let me see. But if you don't have any question, then I'll continue. Okay, so let me continue. Now, another thing I want to bring to our attention is this. Cryptocurrency is a new system. And there has been some serious, would I say dialogue, some arguments in our world concerning cryptocurrencies. Some people say that cryptocurrencies is for lazy people. Some people say cryptocurrencies is the devil's hand. Some people are saying so many things about cryptocurrencies. I want to iron out this issue in this particular broadcast. Now, I want us to hear. Some people manipulate this world. The booms and busts in this world are controlled by some people. Are you with me? The booms and the busts in this world are controlled by some people. Sorry. Okay, now let me quickly round up. And the booms and the busts are controlled by some people. And as long as those people are controlling the booms and the busts, inflation will continue to go up and up and up, and it keeps getting difficult by the day. But you see, cryptocurrency understood this issue that the elites are doing. That was why they built up this system that is a bit contrary to the normal system that sincerely speaking. So now my question is, would you prefer to go to a system where they continue to make things impossible and difficult to work with? Or you quickly go to a system that you feel is of more benefit to you, which is cryptocurrency? Another thing is that in Christendom, people say that cryptocurrency is a kind of antichrist. Really, cryptocurrency is not antichrist, it's just an evolution of money that is well encrypted and is also very secure. That's cryptocurrency for you. And in the Muslim side, they say that cryptocurrencies is a kind of haram. But you see, I still believe in cryptocurrency to the point that it completely changes the way the world goes about things. Some people now that have so much money, because I don't know what they did, but they were able to get that money. Maybe they had strong affiliation with the government. Cryptocurrencies are breaking the legs, the hands, the everything of the government, where the government would not be able to determine how someone shall spend his money, how someone will go about his activities financially. Why? Because it's a system that is accepted by all and sundry. The government can be able to place some policies, regulations, but they cannot control it. That's why I still stand with cryptocurrencies. You can choose to travel abroad with TBC over time. You can choose to rent an apartment, buy a house with TBC, buy a car with TBC, because it's a peer-to-peer thing. All you need to do is tell the person will accept. And as a matter of fact, the community will be so large that it will be out of ordinary to say, I don't want to work with this kind of community. The community will be so big that everybody wants to identify with the community. So that's why I prefer to stand with TBC. I stand with cryptocurrencies in general. It's a new system. It's coming up. It's building. It's building momentum. It's building momentum. In the TBC community now, we're about 3 million 70 something, 3,070 something thousand. And I'm sure between now and the end of this week, today is Sunday, between now and the end of this week, we should at least get to 100,000. We'll get to 200,000. We'll get to 300, 500, 800, 1 million. That's 4 million. We'll keep building. We keep building. And let me tell you, TBC is going to be the biggest cryptocurrency system widely accepted all over the world because it's called the billion coin. After 1 billion people has gotten hold of TBC, then the system of the TBC now becomes a stable system. It's like we're going back to the time of old, where we believed in precious metals, where there was a relative form of stability, where you could go to market and buy something for $100, and after 10 years, there's an inflation of $5, maybe $105 after 10 years. That's a form of relative stability. That's where we're moving to through the TBC community. So I think I will stop here. I've said a good number of things. Now, tomorrow is very likely that our series program will continue. It's going to be a consistent thing. Tomorrow, we're going to also talk about TBC and Okay, if I'm here, if you're still okay, someone else has also asked the question, and I'll take my time to answer you. Okay, I guess it has connected now. Now, the first question is what happens to anyone who fails to pay the $10 wallet fee before migration? That's an interesting question. All right, and I'll give an answer to that. Then I'll talk with Jack Freeman. This series program would continue. I would like you to check your time. And my time, Nigerian time, it's currently some minutes past 9. So, but my program usually starts 8:30 p.m. So 8:30 p.m. West African time. Check your one and then try to plug onto me tomorrow same time, 8:30 p.m. West African time. So let me answer your question. Now, for those people that fail to pay their $10, what happens is the admin has given a window. The window of 90 days will start by Monday next week. I think Monday of next week will be 30th. Monday of next week. Now, from the 30th of April down to the 31st of July, you have to pay your $10. If you fail to pay your $10, what would actually happen is that your coins will be lost. That's exactly what will happen. Your coins will be lost. Now, you may have free gringos. The opportunity to get TBCs is let me give us an advice. Let's get now, for those of us that get TBCs, it's okay to purchase at least $100 worth of TBC. Purchasing we are coming into, we are going to have 1 million billionaires. So I have a promotion where you can afford to get 100 referrals. I can help to get you 100 referrals. Yes, I can. My system, like I said in my previous videos, we have a team that helps you get referrals, but it's at a certain amount. So if you're interested in getting these referrals, contact me personally. Just check through my videos. You're going to see my email address. You're going to see my password. Okay? Anyway, let me drop my email address in case you need to contact me personally. And that's my email address. If you've seen if you just say I saw it, drop an if you saw my email address, you can respond. Now that's my email address. And now the next thing is you could come into me and then talk with me on WhatsApp. Now my WhatsApp number. Oh, very good. So please a community. I'm going to be as consistent as I can. I'll, as much as possible, try to be as consistent as I can. So these ones that has come in today, please, I'd like you to come in tomorrow and then keep in touch. There are a number of things you are going to discover about this TBC as you keep in touch. Now, the question that you asked, I think I answered it. I said, if after the 90 days you are not able to pay your $10, I can also help you pay your $10, but it's not difficult. In case you want to pay your $10, you can contact me through my WhatsApp, through my email address, either of them. I help you make your payments. You send in the money to me. I help you make your payments. And within 48 hours, it reflects in your back office, you know. So I think that's that. So my own advice is we are building a community, we are building a new system of abundance. So please and please, $10 is very little. You can just sit down and strategize on how to get $10. Now, if you want to get your $10, what you need to do is tell people about TBC. Okay, when you tell people about TBC and they want to buy TBC and you don't have so much TBC, you could contact me. All you need to do is contact me. When you contact me, you send TBC. Sorry, when you tell the person that did me, and okay, no, let me. If you want to get TBC, you partner with me. When you partner with me, then you tell the person that he should send in the funds. As long as is not in Naira, then I think it will be better you send it to me in Bitcoin. Well, if you're not in Bitcoin, whatever cryptocurrency you want to send it to, you let me know through my email, through my WhatsApp. Let's have a chat. When we have a chat, the agreement within the TBC community is 50%. For everyone you bring in, you are entitled to half of what the person invests. Let me give an instance. Someone wants to buy $500 out of TBC. As long as you partner with me, what happens is that when the person purchases it, you are entitled to $250 because that's half of TBC. If you understood me, please say, I understood you. If you understood me, please say, I understood you. So you see, if you're able to go out, you see, TBC community is growing larger. You don't just say, let me calm down and see when the system will start running. You have to make a move. You have to tell people about it. If you don't tell people about it, then the community will not grow. So tell people about it. Let the community continue to build. Let the community continue to grow. And as the community is continuing to grow, the value of the money continues to grow up and up and up. So when someone purchases a partial amount of TBC, and when I pay the person the TBC in partnership with me, seven, 10 people, 4 people purchases $100 of TBC. You have $2,200 worth of TBC already. That's what you have. You know, and then from that $200, you pay your $10. If you choose to pay $10 Bitcoin, it's your choice. If you choose to pay in Litecoin, it's your choice. Ethereum, it's your choice. But you see, there has been some issues with the MasterCard. That's I think the MasterCard. That's paper system. You know, it has been having some issues. When you try to make payments, it seizes it. So the only alternative we have is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Litecoin. You know, so please, and please try to pay your $10. It's very necessary. If you have any issues, I'm here to help within the TBC community. That's why I'm your TBC friend. You know, I can help you, however it is, whatever challenge you have. But please do not keep your hands idle. Don't fold your hands. Okay, now another person is asked. This is Jack Freeman. I don't know if Jack Freeman is still here. So okay. Now let me answer Jack Freeman's question. Jack Freeman says $10 fee needs to be paid before you can migrate. And migration will last for 90 days to allow everyone enough time to come up with the money. Yeah, the person even gave the answer. That's a good one. Jack Freeman, thanks a lot. I really appreciate your answer. I want to call it quit for today. If you enjoyed my, just drop I enjoyed it. You know, coming online same time, that's 8:30 p.m. West African time. So if you actually enjoyed my video or my live broadcast, You could respond, I enjoyed it. If you also respond, I will watch. Okay. If there's any question, you have my WhatsApp number, contact me. And you have my email address. You could also contact me. And I'm always there to help you out. Okay? I think that will be all. So let me give like some few seconds or some few minutes. If there's any other question, you could ask. But if there's no other question, then I'll call it quits. All right. I think that will be all. So tomorrow, same time, 8:30 p.m. You can come online, and then let's take some time and discuss more. Okay? So do take care of yourselves, and do have a lovely day wherever you are, or a lovely night wherever you are. In Nigeria, it's actually some minutes past 9, 22 minutes past 9 precisely. So I would call it quit for now. We shall continue tomorrow. So have a lovely night rest. But we in Nigeria, and wherever you are, do take care of yourself. Have a lovely day, lovely night, and God bless you. All right, Israel, I appreciate your time with me. Thank you very much. And goodbye for now.